Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Round the Table with CulinArt. We are excited to bring you managers from across our company today, and we're focusing on something we're very excited about, something that we've been waiting for a long time, the better part of more than a year, and that's the Great Return. What that means is all of these managers from across the entire country, we're going to go from New Jersey to Delaware to California, right, to Pennsylvania. All of these managers have recently started back with CulinArt and Compass Group. Once again, I'm Matt Santarpia. I'm Director of Learning and Development for the company. I'm happy to be your host and guide you through this latest episode of Round the Table. Be sure to view our YouTube channel on CulinArt Connect and look for Around the Table, and you'll see all of our episodes. So I'd like to start first with Pam Owens. Pam, you're out in Delaware. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Pam, where you work, when you came back, and a little flavor for us if you can, Pam.
Well, I work in Wilmington, Delaware. I work at a unit called Marvel Cafe. I've been with the company for about 3 years. Prior to COVID, this will be my 4th year coming back with the company. For Compass CulinArt, I was an event manager, and I just luckily found this job through the paper.
Wonderful. So we know our recruitment efforts are working.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And tell us a little bit about your location.
Well, the location I'm at in a company called Corporation Services, and their motto is the business behind business. And I always like to say, I'm the business behind them.
I like that. Very nice.
Yeah, I run a Starbucks bistro, kind of like open counter. Between all 3 campuses, there are about 1,300 people that actually have access to the cafe. There's 2 cafes. And we service about, on average, around 300 people on my open Starbucks cafe. And it's been great.
Wow. That's great. Well, thank you, Pam. And how long were you on furlough, and when did you return back to CulinArt?
We were on furlough for almost a year and a half. So we left in March, and then we just came back in June.
Well, welcome back.
Of this year. Thank you.
Welcome back. More to come, Pam. We appreciate you being here, and welcome back to our family. That's wonderful.
Thanks.
And now, Pam, we're going to jump not too far from Delaware, but we're going to jump to Pennsylvania and meet David Green. Hi, David. How are you?
Hey, Matt. How are you doing? I'm David Green, and I am the chef manager at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, right in Philadelphia. I've been with CulinArt over 21 years. It's been a great career. And my account is a small medical college. And so it's all graduate students. So it's kind of a big change from where I was pre-COVID. I was at a community college. And that's been an exciting change too. It's a new account, new faces, new everything.
Great. And when did you rejoin CulinArt and Compass Group? How long have you been back in the fold, so to speak?
So I came back at the very end of March.
Okay.
And that gave me 2 weeks to clean, and plan. And that was what I did for two very long weeks. And then we reopened.
And we're going to get into a little bit of that with this management team about what it takes from an operations perspective, what it takes to open that location, what tools and resources, you have been utilizing. So this is exciting as we fuel this great return. Thank you, Dave. More to come. Don't go anywhere, as we like to say. And now we're going to jump all the way to California. I love modern technology. And we have Sharafat Khan, but we call Sharafat Khan, just plain Khan. Am I right, Khan?
Yes, sir. Hi,
you
everyone.
Have the best name in show business.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. People easy to remember Khan, just like a Sugar Khan.
That's right. That's right. I love when you bring up Shaka Khan on these Zoomcasts. That's great. We should have music when you say that. So Khan, tell us a little bit about the location you're working in and how you found your way back to CulinArt.
Hi everyone, this is Sharafat Khan. I work with Windward School. Windward is a leading private school in Los Angeles County with a students population around 850. Many are from Hollywood and well-off families. We serve around very close to fine dining food like sushi, poke bar, shrimp, choice grade of beef, selection as well. Still, Taco Tuesday is our busiest day. We feed around 850 between 20 to 25 minutes. About me a little bit, I'm a general manager for this location. I started with CulinArt in 2016. I used to work with a GM with Hyatt Hotels in Huntington Beach, California.
Great, great. Well, welcome back, Khan. And how long have you been back with CulinArt?
We were furloughed in March, and then in November, I went to Nashville. There was opening. I was opening general manager for Electrolux, is an appliances company. So I was around 9 months on furlough. Then I got laid off, and I'm not the person who like to stay at home. So I looked within company umbrella, and I was able to pick a location or a position in Nashville. I went there for 6 months, but when I heard back from CulinArt hire management, I didn't even think twice. And I tell the management over there, I gotta go home, which is CulinArt.
Well, that's wonderful. You'll notice a theme, ladies and gentlemen, about what we're speaking about today. And that's that we're reopening and we have business restoration on all of our business levels, if you will. All of our business lines are reopening. That's the great return. And that's why it's so great to have everyone back. So thank you for that, Khan. And we're going to talk about, what you experienced in the reopening process as well. But before we do that, we're going to jump now to Florida. And there's Herb Johnson. Hi, Herb. How are you?
I'm doing good, Matt. How are you doing?
Wow, you look great, Herb. Look at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice. You're in our kitchen. What location are you in? And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So right now I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm at the Wisher Bank, right up off Gate Parkway. I've been with Compass for 4 years now. Like I said, I'm the chef manager. It's a great account.
What was it like for you to come back into the location and come back to work? What were some of the feelings and what you experienced in that initial comeback period?
It was a surreal moment walking back into the account. You walk in, you kind of feel like you're back at home, and it's just good to be back. It feels so good. It feels good in your bones to be back in your account, the one that you've worked so hard to get to the standard that you want. But then after about 5 minutes, you look around and think, holy moly, I have so much stuff to do. Lots and lots of cleaning. But one of the biggest issues of reopening is going to be checking everything like micros or POS related stuff like that. That's a real chore because everybody's working hard right now. It's just that everybody wants everything done right now.
Well, remember, these facilities, for the most part, have been closed. I'm going to jump over to Khan in California. Khan, what was it like for you when you first opened the CulinArt facility as you got back into the fold?
Man, to be honest with you, it wasn't easy. When it comes to cleaning, sanitizing, after long closure, we spent full week on that. I was lucky. My all associate decided to come back on my one call, and we ready to come back. It was also hard finding all necessary supplies, mostly paper products. Cleaning entire operation, it was closed for a year. Going through all the supplies, sorting out expired items, looking for a new product, specifically paper product, due to national shortage. Putting pest control in place, I team up with Windward facility to get floor decals and signage in place. Also, temperature screening and weekly COVID testing were for my all team through school. I was able to open the door on time, and my clients were happy. We were greeted on very first day with a coffee and donuts on the school entrance. So that was very touching. I operate my location in a sense, I'm a part of school. As long as I'm here, I'm part of this one. So I think our clients feel that, like how much efforts and how much effort we put in that. Do we love our job? So I always tell my team, do what you love what you do, and you don't have to work any other day.
That, feeling, that positivity that all of you are showing is very important to the reopening process and to our staff to see that positivity. Because remember, a lot of people have been out of the mix for a long time. So thank you, Khan. I appreciate it. Pam, jumping to Delaware and your location, the Marvel Cafe, talk to us a little bit about some of the main things that you had to accomplish as you began the opening or reopening business reactivation process.
Like everyone else said, the cleaning was a big part, but for me, it was the challenge that I run a Starbucks, and coming in, talking to people, they were already like, Starbucks is, chain supply, getting product in. That was, I want to say, the second biggest challenge behind just making sure that the equipment and computers and micros and everything were working correctly. But I would say that was my main issue, because when we opened, I literally was at this door, like Starbucks showed up like 2 hours before. So, it worked out, but that was like the biggest stress. And everybody wants a latte.
Yes, right. And everyone wants a very confusing drink. And people have been our guests. Like we have been out of the loop in terms of not working. A lot of our guests have been working from home. This is their first entrance back into the real life, if you will. So it's interesting, going back and forth with them as well. Thank you, Pam.
Yeah.
Dave, what about you? What were some of your main challenges of reopening your location? And spend some time, Dave, talking about the people as well. I mean, bringing the people back on board. I'm talking about our valuable team members, right? Our hourly associate level team members, the backbone of everything that we do. So Dave, talk about some of those challenges and maybe a little bit about the people too, as we can illustrate for our audience, what it's like to reactivate these businesses.
All right, so I reopened in a new account for me, whole new team. So I'm reaching out to people that I've met in training. So I've worked with them for briefly for a day or two, teaching them Serve Safe or something like that. But it was a day, and I'm not as good as you are, Matt. So I don't remember everybody completely, but I did know the people that I brought back, the key staff that came back to me. So we opened with one person. It was just me and the utility guy, and we spent 2 weeks scouring the kitchen. The college that I'm at now closed on May 12th at 6 p.m. and didn't allow anybody back in until I came back on like March 20th. So there was completely everything that was there in March was still there in March.
Yeah, everything was exactly where you left it, right?
Everything was exactly where it was, but a lot of stuff would have been nicer if we didn't have to, if it wasn't there.
Right.
So I literally pulled out Shiv's guidebook and I started following the rules, and we were sorting through stuff, and we were checking dates and codes and everything else to make sure that what we did was right, because the goal was to open clean and wholesome. And everybody, we opened it with a very limited staff on my side, but there was very few people at the college, so we didn't have a lot of customers to deal with. I like busy, so that was a bit of a challenge for me too. I'm used to busy. And we're getting busy, which is great, because over the few weeks that we've been open, we've slowly added more students and more teachers and staff, and we've upped what we've offered and made it better. The customers are really happy right now. So I'm
Well,
excited.
it's a great place to be. It's also important, and thank you, Dave. It's also important for all of us to capitalize or leverage on this positivity. People are coming back into the workforce. Our team members are being reactivated, our management team. So building on that positivity is important as well. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Also, you mentioned a new tool and resource that's exclusive to CulinArt Group, and that's our guidebook onboarding app, which is brand new. And this kind of took the pandemic and took an orientation process to a new level. This is a resource specifically designed for leadership coming back into the company, and it guides them through the orientation process and connects all the dots via their smartphone. So it really enhances that business reactivation process. So Dave, hold that thought. I'm going to jump over to Khan. Khan, you've had some experience out in California with the guidebook onboarding app and other tools and resources. So Pam and Herb, I want you to think of some company tools and resources. And when I finish with Khan, we'll continue to go around the table, so to speak, right? And maybe next time we'll be doing this in person. We're getting close. We're getting very close. But Khan, talk a little bit about that guidebook app and any other resources that the company gave you and worked with you to make your job more efficient and to open in the correct fashion.
Matt, I have to say one thing. The guidebook has been a game changer too, where we can find all the tools like reopening, rehiring, onboarding, as etc. all things, where we need to perform our job efficiently and faster. So we don't have to spend too much time sitting in an office, and very quickly as well. Instead of searching around the one module to another module, what to do, how to do. Thank you, CulinArt, and thank you, Mr. Matt Santarpia, putting this together. Referral program through the guidebook is another also very handsome tool, and is a handsome bonus structure, also a great way to attract some more talent, which we don't already have. I have seen a great interest in my job posting through the people hubs, and I was able to recruit required associates to run my operation. So it is actually really very awesome tools, and you can go different areas in the guidebook and find what you're looking for instead of going through my compass and looking each module to find everything is in one place. Thank you. That's a
well, Khan, that's great. I mean, we can't thank you enough for that, and that really illustrates the power of the Compass Group family of great companies. When we do these Zoomcast recordings, we have, people listening, some clients, a lot of our team members, other Compass companies, and it illustrates the power of the Compass family of companies. And Guidebook and tools and resources like People Hub, et cetera, really help all of these different companies navigate and fuel this great return. So great, Khan. Thank you for bringing that up. Herb, I want to jump back to you over in beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. Herb, what other tools and resources have you been leaning on as you've come back to the company and as you reactivate your location?
So I know Colin already addressed it, but I still want to give a big shout out to that CulinArt guidebook. It made rehiring my staff so much easier. I literally printed out one piece of paper per employee, filled it out, sent it in, and that was it, all I had to do. But then as far as other resources, it's mostly just the resources within the company, and that being the people that work for us. Everybody that I had to interact with to lean on to get help on how to do all these new things that were implemented in this 15-month period that I was off. Everybody was so helpful, so supportive, and just so giving. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I said thank you in the first month when we were reopening. It was just one after another. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was awesome seeing my company come together to help support me and open my account the way it did.
Well, that's wonderful, Herb. Thank you. And you brought up another interesting point. We talk about technology and we talk about futuristic programs, if you will, or initiatives like Guidebook, and there are many others put forth by the company. But you mentioned our most valuable resource, which is us, our people, all of our people, bring them back on in the correct fashion. And that's why an orientation or an onboarding becomes so important. And leaning on those people makes us different and makes us better. As we recruit talent, the companies that have that personal interaction with their team members, they respect their management and vice versa, they're treated correctly, makes a big difference in not only hiring team members, but also retaining them. So thank you, Herb. Great, great point. Pam, what tools and resources, have you been utilizing as well as you begin to reactivate your location?
Just to, like everyone else, the guide, but more than anything, I honestly say my GM, Lori Wills. She's been super awesome. Before I thought like we had a great relationship. Now I'm like, you must love me, Lori.
Well, now you have a good relationship, but you thought about it, but now
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but Lori's been great, and just the HR service center, like just calling and talking and like talking through things with the techs and the different people over the phone. It's been like a great help, and everyone's been like understanding. So that's been awesome.
Another great resource at our disposal, our HR team, our HR service center, our HR business partners, not only within CulinArt, but throughout the whole Compass Group family. All of these people are really working towards that goal of bringing our people back the right way, making sure we retain them, and most importantly, supporting our operations team. So I'm glad you mentioned that as well. Let's jump back to Dave for a moment. Dave, what do you think are the most important pieces of advice? You can take one piece of advice you would give to a returning manager, someone who's coming back to the company. And again, that's happening every day. Now, every day we're getting emails and we're bringing people back, not only hourly team members, but certainly leadership as well. So what's one piece of advice you can give to a new or aspiring manager as they join CulinArt and Compass once again?
You can't communicate enough. I can't say it any other way. You're going to talk to your team, your client, your manager, everybody, and you need to get all the expectations out. Everybody needs to understand what you're expecting, what you need, and then you need to understand what they're expecting and what they need also. So I meet with my client at the beginning every single day. For a month, I met with my client every single day. Every time I came into the account, he was there with me and he'd talk to me and we'd talk about issues. There was a refrigerator that didn't work. He got it fixed for me, but it's all that communication. If you don't talk, people don't know. So,
and I think overly communicating, if that's the right phrase, in this case, is a good thing, especially when you're reactivating.
Exactly. Everything needs to be out there. I did verbal communications and I followed up with emails. So we talked about broken equipment. And then I followed up with my client and I CC'd my district manager. So everything was sort of in writing. It was verbal. It was still very friendly, but it was very professional. And it made it so that there was accountability for me and for them.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. I like that. That's our first one, communication. I love it. And really, especially in the beginning, connecting those dots with overly communicating is a key as well. Herb, let's jump to you. What is one thing or piece of advice you can give a new or returning team member to CulinArt?
Patience. Patience will be
like that.
You have these expectations of how things used to be and what you're used to and what the norm used to be, but it's completely different now. And I know it sounds stereotypical or cliche. You've heard it a million times. The world has changed. It has. Things are different now, and try not to let the changes upset you. Embrace them. Be patient. If you do need help, reach out. And if you're having trouble getting help, just keep trying. You just got to keep trying and be persistent and patient.
very important. Patience. I think that that's key. Realizing that things are different. The way we're serving is different. Our own attitude and perceptions are different. The country is still going through this, post-pandemic issues. We're pushing vaccination to our team members, very important, safe, healthy, etc. So we're talking about this in real time as we record this. So patience is important too, and realizing that things may not go right, but also there are people there to support you. So Herb, you said something very important, that you're not in this alone. So there's people to support you as well. So ask for that help. So I love that. Communication, very important, and patience. Thank you, Herb. How about you, Khan? What's something that if you had to pick one item that you'd give a new or returning team member, because a lot are coming back as they start, what would you have to say?
There's a many things I can talk about, but I have to say one thing. I'm very agree with David and Herb. Those two points are excellent. I want to say, do not be afraid to ask questions and reach out to your colleague. Or if you know, offer your help to the team, your district, or beyond. Put extra time and effort, attention when it's come to cleaning and sanitization to make sure our clients are comfortable coming within our cafeteria. Extra care, feel we are taking care of them and taking care of our associates as well. That food safety is our first priority. Open communication with honesty. Tell what's going wrong, how I can be. I don't know this. Teach me, show me. Other things, big things right now, updating our MOGs. Our MOGs has lost a lot of things. Reach out to your district manager, reach out to your Cisco or US food rep and ask them what alternative will be changing. Or Doug Ike. Doug Ike has been awesome helping me out what's missing from Cisco, updating my MOG. Look at your MOG, get it done before it's too late.
And utilize your network, right? Reach out to those support, whether it's purchasing or finance, etc. Great comment.
Very true. Very true. That's correct.
Excellent. Thank you. And Pam, how about you? What's one piece of advice that we think, a new or returning manager, has to be cognizant of? And to recap, we have communication, which I love. We have patience, which is very important. These are not only business skills, these seem like they're life skills too, right? So that's a good one. We have be curious and ask questions and ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Pam?
My favorite and most is just to be flexible, like to come in with your team and, just everyone, maybe you were just doing deli, but now you're doing grill because we're a little short-handed. Maybe you're doing grab and go and the register today. Just be flexible and be kind because we're all going through something, we just recovered from something and things are changing every day. Like my building population was at 300. Now we're only at 100 and every day it's changing. So I would just say to come in and be flexible and, have a positive attitude.
Well, I love that. I love the flexibility. We have a new word in our vocabulary, and I'm going to say it. It's called pivot, right? We're pivoting here, We're pivoting there, but it's true. It's true. I mean, we always in our business of hospitality operations have always been able to change on a dime, but even more so in this new normal, so to speak. But that flexibility is key. One of the most important items that I think we can talk about. And just to recap, we had good communication, which is key, patience, being curious and asking questions and asking for support, and certainly that whole idea of flexibility, very, very important. Well, I want to thank all of you for joining us on this great return Zoomcast, right? The latest episode of our Round the Table with CulinArt, designed with you, the operator, in mind. So we appreciate all your time and efforts. We're fueling this great return as we speak to you right now. If you have questions, if you have any issues, please reach out to your corporate support team. We thank everyone for watching us today, and here's to brighter days ahead. Thanks so much.